Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at something that I didn't really expect to be reviewing in all honesty, but since this year seems to be the year of RGB, we're seeing it on literally everything nowadays. When I was offered the chance to look at an RGB mouse mat, I thought, why not? So let me introduce to you the SteelSeries Quick Prism RGB mouse mat. Now the Quick Prism isn't the first RGB mouse mat we've seen. There are a few others on the market, notably from Razer and Corsair, but this one has a few different features that makes it stand out above the competition. First and foremost is the two different sides and different surface types that they offer. As currently normal mouse mats offer from a slippery, more speed surface, and then a cloth variant which offers the opposite, so obviously a bit more control. SteelSeries have opted to provide you both of those in one package, which obviously gives you better flexibility during gameplay, and then also better value for money. And SteelSeries also claims that this is the world first RGB mouse mat with two sides. Other good features to note, it does use Prism Sync, so you can sync between different devices that you have from SteelSeries. All in one piece of software, which is really quite good. I'll show you that later on. You have 12 different customization zones for the RGB lighting on the mouse mat, and then 16.8 million colours to choose from. Now the size is going to be an important factor because a lot of us use different sized desks. So this mouse mat is 356mm by 292mm, or 14 by 11 inches. Now the base of this mat is made with silicone rubber, which guarantees it's not going to move when it's on your desk. I've also got a great demonstration coming up of this as well, so look forward to that. So once you open the box on the back with the kind of Amazon-esque style packaging, you'll find the mouse mat itself and then an instruction manual. Nothing else in the box apart from those two things. Now the USB cable is hardwired and it's just a plain cable, whereas most of the peripherals we see nowadays have braided ones. It is 1.8 meters in length though, so you have got quite a bit to play with. And then looking at the mouse mat itself, this is obviously in its off form, but I'll show you it with the RGB on now. As you can see, quite a contrast into just a plain off mode. And it is bright enough to light up really well during the day, so sunlight doesn't affect it, which is great. I'll come back to the lighting in a moment. I'll cover some other features first. As you probably expect, there's not much going on the bottom of the mouse mat, just a silicone rubber which is going to give us that great grip when we're gaming. So the first side it's on out of the box is the plastic side, but you can easily flip that over to be cloth. Now under the reversible section is also rubber, so it's going to doubly ensure that it's not going to go anywhere when you're actually playing your games. It's ever so easy to swap over as well. I often did it during gameplay just to see what I preferred, but of course I'll talk more on that in the conclusion. On the left hand side is where you'll find your cable will go out to your PC or your Mac. SteelSeries call this an intuitive design purely because other mouse mats have the cable come out from right in the middle, which if you see on my desk I've got my monitor stand straight ahead of that, so that wouldn't be very convenient. And it wouldn't look very good either. So they've put it on the side to make it look a lot better and to also stop any tangles with other cables. Okay, so now proving just how much grip this thing has got. It's absolutely ridiculous. As you can see, I'm using my hand to put downward and back pressure on and it's not moving in the slightest. Obviously, once you've got a mouse on, you're never going to do that kind of movement anyway. So needless to say, this thing's not going to move at all when you're gaming. Then if you're curious just how it looks as the mouse is moving about, obviously the cloth side is going to add a bit more friction, then ever so easy to swap over to the plastic side. Literally takes a few seconds. Then you've got a bit less friction to play with and a bit more speed. Okay, so moving on to the Quick Prism software to enable the different customization for the RGB that's available. As I said before, you've got 12 different zones that you can customize to your liking. What I'm going to do here for just an example is go through all the presets that it offers first. I've simply clicked and dragged across all the different zones to enable them all to be changed at once. There's just a quick example of how you can go and change different zones if you want. So if you erase them, there's going to obviously be no lighting there at all. Now down the right hand side you've got a few templates, so I'm just going to go through those now. Personally my favourite one of these is the loading one. I think it just looks like a loading effect that you'd see on maybe a games console or something. Very simple but looks really good as well. As I go through a few different templates, there's also an adjustment below that to change the brightness as well in 4 stages. Personally for me the full brightness is the best, but obviously during the evening you might want to turn it down a bit. Here's another one of my favourite effects as well, ATM. Obviously mimics a nice sunrise. This is another program that you can literally spend hours to customize and get every little detail of every effect just perfect. You could literally have a different effect on each panel if you wish as well, so if you really want to go time consuming and get it absolutely 100% nailed, then you can do. That colour shift one for example is just going through different colours and the cycling motion, breathing in and out. Changing the speed is always a good option. I've sped it up there just to show you it in a bit of a quicker pace. Those of you that watched my videos before though, you know I like a simple colour, so red and white's often my choice. Now the interface with Prism Sync is really easy. Once you've got all your peripherals attached to your PC or Mac, you can just literally click them on or off. Then go down the left hand side and choose different presets or make a custom lighting effect of your choice. I'll just show you a few different templates here for an example. But as I just said, another thing you can spend a lot more time on to get absolutely perfect to your own taste. You can also set this up with GameSense as well, so whenever you play a certain game it will go to a different set of lighting. This might be good if you want a bright rainbow during the day, for example, and then when you want to get into your games and a bit more immersed, it tones itself down or even goes on to something bland, maybe even off. Just another option there for you to play about with. Okay, so I've shown you around the features and the software, now it's time to give you my thoughts. So generally speaking, it's a mouse mat with RGB. There's not that much I can really say. Personally for me, even though I do play with a very low sensitivity, being the noob that I am, I found that I didn't go off the edges of the mouse mat even with that low sensitivity, so you high players are definitely going to be fine with that. I definitely prefer the cloth over the plastic side. It just feels a lot more comfortable to me. It's less cold as well. That's being more picky than anything there though. The plastic side does pick up grease quite easily. You can see on the camera there, just a thumbprint that was straight out of the box as well. I did pick up that print, so yeah, very susceptible for grease there. I do like the way the cable comes out on the left side, definitely better than having it in the middle, so definite plus to SteelSeries over the Corsair and Razer counterparts. I would like to see a braided cable on something this price though. For something like the Rival 700, SteelSeries do offer braided and plain cables, but personally I think braided looks better anyway, so I'd like to see it on this as well. But to offer the two sides to the mouse mat is great. I love that it doesn't even move when there's any pressure applied. You can see just how hard I pushed it and it didn't slip, so that's great. But I do like the lighting. Personally for me, having just a white and red breathing effect is, exactly what I like. I didn't find it distracting either. But I think the main thing of this review is, if you need to RGB all of the things, then you need to get one. Otherwise, you can live perfectly well without it. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll leave a link to this in the description box below if you want to get one for yourself. Check out my social media in the description box below. If you haven't subscribed already, do it! Thank you for watching. Thank you for SteelSeries for sending this out for me to review. And I'll see you all in the next one.